Hello everybody, here we are today and we're going to be talking about Connor McDavid and just some crazy stats that I have to discuss about him. So before we start, please make sure to subscribe if you're new to me or hockey, whatever the case may be. That being said, let's get on into it. So yeah, just going through the all-time points list the other day, and I just decided got to do a video about McDavid. Probably should have put it off a few days, but we're going to just ignore that part. So we're doing a video over McDavid today, and then probably just like 2 more videos over the course of the regular season. When he passes this player, we might do just like kind of a quick summary, and then if they beat the Penguins win streak, and then we'll ignore any Oilers videos until the playoffs, just to make people happy. But anyway, yes, going back to Connor McDavid, if you don't know who he is, he was taken first overall in the 2015 draft and has had a lot of success. He actually is first in his draft class for points and leads by a pretty healthy margin. Mitch Marner is second on that list, and he's 300 points behind McDavid. McDavid is got 913 points. Marner's a little over 300 points, I should say, but you can see there is a significant gap. And what blows my mind is Connor McDavid just turned 27 like less than 2 weeks ago, just about 2 weeks ago, and he is already 120th all-time in the NHL for career points. Now, that may not seem that crazy, but again, factoring in that he's not even 30, and also the league is over 100 years old, you have to realize that thousands of players have probably played in the league. I couldn't find a definitive answer, but yeah, thousands of players, and he's almost in the top 100 with plenty of time left to play. Just incredible. More incredible too, I think this was the thing that just blew my mind as well, is the fact that he is 3 points away from passing Bobby Orr for all-time points. That just is insane to me. Now, I know Bobby obviously retired early, like 30, 31, something like that, had a lot of knee injuries, but to be able to play and to say that you have more points than Bobby Orr is really incredible. To be able to say you did it in less games, also incredible. Now, I know people are going to say different eras, obviously the physicality of the game and whatnot, but I think that a lot of people look at Bobby Orr as this mythical figure in the NHL's history and just hockey history in general, and they just put him on, that pillar where a lot of people say like the hockey Mount Rushmore, if you will, and I don't have any problem with it, but I will say, looking at a guy like McDavid, I kind of want him to be remembered with possibly some of these all-time greats when it's all said and done, just because of what we could see. And the thing that blows my mind too is, who is he going to pass right after he passes Bobby Orr? Pavel Datsyuk. So 2 names that have made impacts. Now, Datsyuk maybe not as much of the name that Orr is, but still a guy that achieved a lot in his time with the Detroit Red Wings. Won multiple championships, 3-time Selke winner, and soon to be behind McDavid for the points lead. As for some other crazy stats, he is 102nd all-time for assists, basically meaning it's only a matter of time before the end of the regular season where he cracks into the top 100, and at the moment he is 198th all-time in career goals. Now, that may seem relatively high and say, why is that really a bragging point? But there are a lot of players when you go through the all-time goals list that are just bunched together, and they are separated by a goal or 2, and so I would say that if he gets to that 360 mark, and it's not even me saying it, it's just the fact that if he gets to 360 goals by the end of the year, next season I should say, that he's really in a spot where he'll be around the 150 range. So, being near 200 doesn't seem like much, but just to show how far you can move up in a short amount of time, by the end of next season, we're probably looking at him being around 150, and again, having a chance to move up to the top 100 in that regard as well, where we know he will be. And just to throw out something else too, he is basically 600 points away from Alex Ovechkin. Now, that is a huge gap. A lot of guys don't even make 600 points or get 600 points in their entire NHL careers. McDavid's been able to do that in a very short amount of time, and I just think with how he's been able to get a lot of these points so quickly and be so young, that barring a major injury, fingers crossed, we are looking at a situation where he will be catching up to some greats, some icons, some all-time greats, mind you, before you know it. And it's not just guys like Ovi and Crosby, it's other players as well. Now, will Ovechkin and Crosby get a little bit more, points along the way? Yes. But you have to think grand scheme here with some of these guys. Maybe they play a couple more years. Crosby, I'm not really sure how long he's going to play. Ovechkin as well. But there are so many names, so many very, very good names that McDavid's going to pass up in no time. So looking at all this, I would say that, let's say, just 5 years prime left to McDavid. That could be less, could be more, could be right on the head. I think you get at least 5 more guaranteed years of prime McDavid. You're looking at least 500 points, and I'm not saying that he couldn't get more, or he could get less, I guess if there's a fall off or an injury. But 500 points seems like a relatively conservative estimate over the next 5 seasons. That would put him at 1,400 points after this is all said and done, right around 1,400 points. Where does that rank in terms of all-time points? That would be about 20th all-time. Now, there's a little bit of give or take right around that mark, but to say that a guy in his early 30s could be top 20 in NHL points when he has still got maybe some prime left in him is absolutely incredible, and it just goes to show how we are so blessed to be looking at what we're seeing here with McDavid. I know sometimes people are probably like, gosh, this guy cannot stop talking about McDavid, but as a kid, I don't think I truly appreciated some of the players that I got to see and witness. So as you get a little bit older and you see a guy like Connor, you start to say, okay, well, you want to watch some of the games, even if, you're probably not interested in the game itself with some of the matchups that they're playing, just to get to see him play. I'm not saying that he's going to go out there and pass Wayne Gretzky by any means. Basically impossible, but I do think we're looking at a guy that very well could crack into the top 10, maybe go even farther, and we're looking at a situation where a lot of players are going to be underneath him when it's all said and done, and you're looking at him being one of the better players, not only of your era as a fan, but possibly in hockey history. Do I think he gets put on that hockey Mount Rushmore when it's all said and done? I truly think that it's going to come down to success. I know a lot of people that probably already commented or left this video probably did so because they're saying, oh, Bobby Orr is great because of the fact that he was a Stanley Cup champion. Pavel Datsyuk obviously had an impact in the game because he was a Stanley Cup champion. McDavid will leave an impact on the league regardless of the fact that he may or may not win a championship. However, if he wins one or multiple, I would say that yes, that hockey Mount Rushmore deserves to be there. So, is this a situation where this is all going to happen overnight? No, it's not. But there's a lot of guys like Blake Wheeler, Steven Stamkos, some of these names. He's going to get past rather quickly compared to what you'd expect probably, and he's already passed some names maybe you wouldn't expect. Brad Marchand is a name, and he's been in the league for a while. I know it took some time for him to get some consistent minutes, or more minutes if you will, but still to see some of these guys that have been around for a while that have had relatively big impacts on the league, especially a guy like Stamkos, I would say it still is truly incredible to see what is happening. So I guess if you are a player that is active, you might want to keep checking the all-time points category and things like that to see if McDavid has caught up to you, and if not, it's a matter of when, not if, for a lot of these guys. But at the same time too, really this video was meant to just talk about hockey greatness. Again, seeing the fact that he was getting ready to pass, or maybe he passes him by the time I put out this video, just is absolutely wild. So yeah, that is basically it. No more videos, 2 more videos I should say at max for the Oilers before the playoffs, because yeah, they're probably sick of hearing about how good the Oilers have been. Anyway, let me know your thoughts on Connor McDavid down below. Where do you think he will finish all-time in points? Do you think that he will crack into the top 10? Do you think that he will have a prime that goes past 5 seasons? Let me know all that stuff down below in the comments. Also, please make sure to like this video if you enjoyed it. Subscribe if you're new. Everybody stay safe. Have a great night. And you go love hockey, alright. Goodbye, Brigadiers and Brigadettes. This is your captain signing off. Have a great night.